Welcome back, people, to another video. Make sure you like, subscribe, all of that. Get your comments in. You know what it's like to support the channel. It's free. Hitting that like button massively helps. So please make sure you do that for the regular content. But we are talking about one of the most underappreciated, maybe underrated players in world football. Rodrygo. Brazilian, Rodrygo, Real Madrid, Rodrygo. It's time to give him his flowers because, yes, Real Madrid are performing well. Yes, they're winning games. Yes, Kylian Mbappe is scoring goals and taking the headlines. But sometimes part of a team and a key figure of a team can be the person that doesn't always step up with the goals, doesn't always step up with the assists, but is a huge part of what the team is succeeding with. And that is Rodrygo. He is the link between that midfield and that final third. He is the player that gives a creative spark. He is a player that is very unselfish. He is about the team before himself. He can create that half a yard. He can make a run to give Mbappe or Vinicius the space. He is now contributing with big game performances. He is now starting to step up with more GA, which a lot of people look at. For me, Rodrygo is one of the most underrated players in world football. And if he was at another club, he'd be the type of player that Real Madrid would be looking at because they'll be like, look at his performances. Look how much he stands out. And it's probably alarming for me to say this, but if you're Rodrygo and you're looking at the way Real Madrid are now building their team with Arda Endrick, Mbappe, Vinicius, they're linked to Florian Wirtz now, you're probably looking at who would be the fall guy, with Bellingham also playing in midfield and attack as well. And the truthful answer is Rodrygo could be the fall guy. Now, if you're a team across Europe, and I'm talking Arsenal want an attacker, Manchester United are looking at attackers, Chelsea need attackers. This is just the Premier League. Man City potentially need attackers. Bayern Munich. When you look at the teams across Europe that need an attacker that can make a difference, that can play out wide, or maybe in the number 10 roles in the back, in a midfield three, attacking three, Rodrygo fits your bill. If you are Arsenal, Barcelona, sorry, let me repeat that. If you are Arsenal, Chelsea, Manchester United, Bayern Munich, even potentially Liverpool, other football clubs that I've just named there, looking at an attacker in the summer, or if not, in 18 months' time, in the summer window of 2026, Rodrygo could be your guy. He's at the perfect age now of 24. He's won trophies. He's got a big game mentality. He played for the Brazil national team, and you know that comes with pressure. He is a guy ready to be a main guy somewhere. And now look, guys, I'm not suggesting that Rodrygo leaves. I'm just suggesting that it could get to the point where he might feel undervalued, underappreciated. Now, he is playing a lot of games at the moment. He is playing under Ancelotti. A lot of people said he could leave potentially in the summer just gone. He is playing, he is contributing. But if Ancelotti leaves and you get a manager that comes in, for example, Xabi Alonso, who plays a 3-4-3, you're already looking at Vinicius, Mbappe, Arda Endrick, Bellingham. You've got to try and fit them in somewhere. And I don't know if Rodrygo could be that guy that would drop off next season. Not because he's not good enough, just because there's so many numbers. But this season so far, he has been very important for Real Madrid, especially when you think Mbappe started off his career slowly at Real Madrid. It was a bit of a slow burner. People were saying it might turn out to be a flop. You know what it's like on reactionary internet. You got Vinicius that some fans are hot and cold with at the moment, but we know that Vinicius has got that extra star quality. Probably should have won the Ballon d'Or. But Rodrygo, he's been the one stepping in, stepping up when these players haven't been so hot and firing. And I just think it's time that he gets his flowers, because his performance tonight against Manchester City to knock them out of the Champions League again was top class. Yes, Mbappe with your hat-trick, brilliant. Never going to take that away from you, because you're a player now that is scoring goals and you are really making a difference in the final third. However, it's people around him that are enabling him to do that. And Rodrygo is one of them. He, for me, is undroppable for Real Madrid, because I feel like when Mbappe isn't scoring, is he contributing with work rate? Probably not so much. Vinicius, if he's not contributing with goals and assists, is he in the game more than Mbappe? Yes. But is he working as hard? Probably more than Mbappe, but not harder than Rodrygo. And this is the thing about Rodrygo. He is not as flashy as Mbappe. He is not as flashy as Vinicius, but he enables them to be better. His runs, his unselfishness, His link between the final third and the midfield is brilliant. And he works hard. What they can't do in terms of the battling and running the hard yards, Rodrygo provides that. And it's balance. It gives Real Madrid balance. And if you take Rodrygo out of that side, Real Madrid definitely look different. And no one can tell me different, because right now he is a vital cog in what they're doing in succeeding this season. And I just think he deserves his recognition. And he's one of the most underrated players in the world of football right now. And big teams will come sniffing in the next 16 months. I'm telling you that now. I'm looking at Rodrygo's stats so far this season. And like I said to you, it's not all about stats, but let's contribute and look at it. In the Champions League so far this season, 8 games, 4 goals, 2 assists. That's contributing in 6 out of the 8 games, whether it's scoring or assisting. That's showing a good sign of consistency. Last year in the Champions League, 13 games, 5 goals, 2 assists. So already in 5 games less, he's nearly matched his figure. The year before, 5 goals, no assists. The year before, 5 goals, no assists. So every year, what we're seeing is from Rodrygo is levels of progression, levels of increasing his output. Again, here in La Liga, 21 games this season so far, 6 goals, 5 assists. Last year, 34 games, 10 goals, 5 assists. He's already on the way to eclipsing that, essentially, and getting better, if not, because the assists are there. He's just got to get more goals. But he doesn't have to always score the goals now, because what the difference is Real Madrid have got now to seasons before is they've got Mbappe. He's there to score goals. Last year, before that, 22-23, 9 goals, 8 assists. So what we're seeing from Rodrygo's game is he's starting to contribute more in the stats department, which a lot of people look at. But his performances, for me, are getting better and better and better. And I just feel like he's maturing as a player as well. He's 24 years of age, so we know that he's coming into his prime. You know, he's only just turned 24 as well in January this year. So he's coming into his prime now. He's improving. And I think that he's becoming a massive part of Real Madrid's team and a massive part of their success. And I think it's only probably now that even probably, you know, football fans like me from only last season, football fans maybe from now this season, but no more than last season, I'd say that people started really seeing the value that Rodrygo provides in terms of his contribution to Real Madrid. Because before that, people were saying, is he as good as what people think he could be? Is he really going to make it at Real Madrid? There was always doubts about Rodrygo. But now I feel like he's silencing those doubts. And I'm really happy for him to see him contributing. And I think as well, to touch on it with Real Madrid front three, I think what really helps is obviously with Camavinga, Valverde, Dani Ceballos in midfield, Bellingham obviously part of the midfield. They've got legs in there. They've got an element of control. And it's allowing the front three just to rotate and find themselves on the left, on the right, down the middle. They're very functional. They're very fluid. No one's stagnated. No one's set in that position. And I think that's really making it interesting for Real Madrid going forward, especially in the Champions League, because a lot of teams are going to struggle to mark them and keep them quiet. Similar to PSG. I done a video last night on PSG. Similar to them. Kvaratskhelia, Dembele, Desiree Doué, Barcola, they all can mix and float. And it just makes it very hard for teams to be able to pin someone down. And it's going to be so interesting to see what Real Madrid do in the Champions League. For me, they are the favourites to win the Champions League, especially when they get key players back like Rodrygo was. David Alaba's back in full training now. You know, still got the experience in midfield with a bit of youth. And then their attack is just frightening. It's a FIFA cheat code, really. It's a cheat code with Mbappe, Vinicius, and Rodrygo. So, yeah, I just think Rodrygo deserves his flowers. I think this is a time for him now to keep stepping up, keep shining. But I also think it could be one of them ones that in 16 months, he could be one of the big money moves to a team across Europe, like the ones I mentioned, that are going to be looking for a standout forward that can make the difference, become one of the main men as well. And I think he might be ready to do that, because if you keep winning the leagues and keep winning Champions Leagues at Real Madrid, you either stay at Real Madrid and become a legend as part of this new team that you love and want to be part of, or you might be like, do you know what? I deserve more playing time. And I'm not saying he's not playing now, but if they go out and sign a Florian Wirtz and Endrick improves and Arda Güler and a new manager comes in, you just don't know. Things can happen in football. Things can change. So yeah, Rodrygo, you deserve your flowers. But in 16 months, it'll be so interesting to see if you're still at Real Madrid. Guys, make sure you like this video. Make sure you subscribe. Make sure you get your comments in. I appreciate you guys all watching on the road to 5K. And I'll see you on the other side.